What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Sunday, March 10th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Elfrid Payton from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Atlanta Hawks, who have the absolute worst defense overall, and they give up the second most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Elfrid Payton has scored 30, 15, and 28 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 26.6 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 28 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. Elfrid Payton is $5,800 DraftKings salary. He's $900 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 35.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6.1 times value. Remember, there's no Drew Holiday. This is a fast-paced game and a fantastic matchup with an implied total of 234.5 points in this game. Elfrid Payton put up 51 fantasy points in his last game versus the Atlanta Hawks. I love Elfrid Payton here versus the Hawks. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player, and we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors playing the Phoenix Suns, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Klay Thompson scored 59 fantasy points in 35 minutes in his game back from injury. He's averaging 35 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 34 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. Klay Thompson is $6,600 DraftKings salary. He's $1,200 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 34.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. There's an implied total of 234.5 points in this game. That's a huge total. Tons of fantasy points to go around. It's a fast-paced game. Klay plays better at home. I love Klay Thompson here versus the Phoenix Suns. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. Eligible at small forward here on DraftKings, I like DeMar DeRozan from the San Antonio Spurs playing the Milwaukee Bucks, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. DeMar DeRozan has scored 28, 49, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 40.4 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 35 minutes per game with a 29% usage rate. DeMar DeRozan is $8,200 DraftKings salary, projected at 39.6 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 42 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. There's an implied total of 226.5 points in this game, and the reason I like this pick so much is because look at the last 5 games versus Milwaukee. DeMar DeRozan has scored 52, 52, 37, 76, and 50 fantasy points in his last 5 games versus Milwaukee. Unreal player versus team history. It's got to mean something. This is a home game, a fast-paced game. DeMar DeRozan loves playing the Bucks, so I love DeMar DeRozan here versus the Bucks. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Dario Saric from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the New York Knicks, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Dario Saric has scored 28, 19, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 21.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 25 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. Dario Saric is $4,000 DraftKings salary. He's only $300 more on FanDuel, so I like that price on both sites. Projected at 21.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. This is a back-to-back, but he only played 19 minutes last game, so he should be fresh and good to go, especially if Karl Anthony Towns is ruled out. I love Dario Saric here versus the New York Knicks. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns playing the Golden State Warriors, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they're also middle-of-the-pack defending opposing centers. DeAndre Ayton has scored 33, 17, and 45 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 35.7 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. DeAndre Ayton is $6,500 DraftKings salary. He's $1,600 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 34 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. There's an implied total of 234.5 points in this game. And I also like this pick because DeAndre Ayton scored 46, 40, and 48 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus Golden State. So I love DeAndre Ayton here versus the Golden State Warriors. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.